ค่ะมีห้องทานค่ะ
God in pleasure, God in pain, God will ever remain. God in gladness, and God in strife. Father, we commit to you our hearts. You know that you are faithful through the stillness and the storm. For you've been with us from the start. Father, we commit to you our hearts. God in pleasure, God in pain, God will ever remain. God in gladness and God in strife. Father, we commit to you our hearts. For we know that you are faithful. Through this for you've been with us from the start. Father, we commit to you our hearts. For we know that you are faithful through the stillness and the storm. For you've been with us from the start. Father, we commit to you our hearts.
Thank you very much, sister, for that very nice song. And praise and glory be unto God. We will have a question and answer after this topic, hydrotherapy, my last topic. A while ago, we were talking about colonic edema. We were talking about this also yesterday. So this is a very simple edema, and how to use it is also very simple. So hydrotherapy is water therapy, right? We have internal and external water therapy. Properties of water. Water is the most beneficial remedy. It is actually the beverage that God has given man. Water is known for its dissolving quality. It dissolves impurities. Water eliminates impurities also. And then water strengthens the body. So when you feel very tired and you are very thirsty, and then when you drink water, actually you feel strengthened. And water cleanses the body and its system. So these are the major properties of water. As a drink, it quenches thirst. It acts in the body as a thermoregulator. Especially when you feel very hot, especially during summer, and you drink water, and then there will be a change of the temperature. But when it's too hot and you think that you are not relieved with water, you can drink cucumber juice. It is a refrigerant. You feel very refreshed. It transports nutritional elements and eliminates waste. What else? As a drink, water quenches our thirst. Within the body, it has three functions. Within the body, it regulates the body's temperature and transport nutrients and eliminating waste. This is actually the summary. So this as a drink. And then, very hot or very cold drinks are not advisable. Very hot drinks, it will destroy our mucous membrane. The mucous membrane is the outer covering of our mouth until our up to our anus. And the skin, the integumentary system, is the largest organ. It is very vulnerable to very hot. And what more with our mucous membrane? So when you drink too hot drinks, and then what will happen with our mucous membrane? It will also be injured. What about our digestive system, especially the stomach? Everything that will be up above and lower than 37 degrees, it will use a lot of energy. So the stomach only wants drinks and food that is 37 or 36.5 to 37 degrees centigrade. If you drink too hot, it will use a lot of energy so that it will turn this too hot food or drinks into 37 degrees. When you eat cold, it uses also a lot of energy so that it will turn this cold food or drinks into 37 degrees in temperature. Otherwise, it cannot digest the food. So that is why we avoid drinking very hot and very cold drinks because they cause fever in the digestive system. That is why they will give more energy and there will be a fever in this area. And what else? In order to quench thirst, water must be drunk at room temperature. So this is a tip for us. So the first real positive studies about the therapeutic procedures were done by Priestlitz in 1799. Was born 1799 and died 1851. So another one is Quinine, Sebastian Quinine. And then we will go faster. We have also the Deo de Vincent. And then we have also Ellen White. Among all these masters, Ellen White stands out. So you will find in the testimonies every now and then, especially in the health books, about water. Water therapy. Okay, so in Ministry of Healing, Helpful Living, and so on and so forth. Okay, general rules for the application of cold water. So again, this is external because in internal I do not recommend hot or cold water because of it will need more energy to neutralize the temperature because the stomach can only perform in a normal temperature that is 36.5 or 37 degrees Celsius. So, the application of cold water should be done with an empty stomach, that is to say 2 or 3 hours must have gone by since the last meal was taken. Okay? And then, if the food consisted only of fruit, salad, or vegetables, the interval of 3 hours can be reduced because there will be a faster digestion in fruits and vegetables or simple cooked food because it does not need to digest every ingredient. The more ingredients you put in the food or when you cook, the longer the digestion. Okay? Because it needs to digest every ingredient that you have mixed in the food. So, as an exemption, right after eating, only a damp bath or a mild compress may be applied on the stomach. Mild compress is actually herb or geotherapy. You make a clay out of red soil or clay, and then you use the juice of lemon, onion and oregano leaves, the juice, and then you mix with a little water. When it is already clay, you put it in the abdomen, and it will give good result. And then before any application of cold water, it is necessary for the body to be in condition that it can react to the stimulant of the water by producing heat. So the skin must be always in a normal temperature or better if it is a little bit warmer. Especially when you apply cold compress or cold bath. The skin and above all the feet should be warm. Yes? And then otherwise they should be warmed up by physical exercise or wearing something warm and application of needles or friction with hands or with a dry cloth. Exposure to the sun or to any other sources of heat like steam bath or the use of a hot water bottle and so on. The only exception is the cold foot bath, which is done with cold feet precisely to warm them up. So you apply cold water in cold feet. Why? Because in water therapy, reaction is very important. When you apply cold, what will be the normal reaction or the reaction? The body must release heat. Have you ever tried putting an ice in your hand? What will happen to your hand? You feel very cold, of course. What else? What else? There will be numbness. What else? And when you get rid of this ice, what will happen to with your hand? You feel warm because it starts to what? Because when you apply cold, there will be a constriction of the blood vessels and there will be no flowing of the blood. Have you ever tried to touch a dead person? What is the temperature? Oh, because there is no blood circulation. But the moment there is already an opening of the blood vessels and there is now what we call circulation, there will be heat. So there must be a reaction. So after holding an ice and then you let it go, in a little moment, your hands will feel hot. That is the reaction. That is the reaction. So we need this reaction in water therapy. So when you feel very hot, high fever, we apply usually cold in the areas where we have this hottest area. Our groins and also our armpits, the axillary area. And we apply also cold application here because we need to release the fever. We need to release the fever. But when you feel hot and then you apply hot, what will happen? The blood pressure will go out and there will be a danger of killing the patient. So we need to release all this heat inside the body. That is why we apply what? Cold compress. Try to make the whole body react with heat after the application of cold water. There must be a reaction. That is the important thing in water therapy, reaction. We must remember that the applications of cold water are not to refresh the skin, not only to refresh the skin. To refresh the skin is actually during the morning, it is taking a bath. But to provoke a thermal reaction on it, not to refresh but to provoke or to invite a thermal reaction. This reaction will be reinforced with proper warm clothes or moderate exercise. So you do not apply cold compress or cold bath with people who feel very, very cold. You need to warm them up. And then, like walking, for example. Okay. So carefully observe the rules and the time that are set. So in this book, actually we have the book here. I was already introducing this book to you. So you will see here hydrotherapy. You will also see geotherapy, how to cure mental diseases, and the programs that I was showing you yesterday, emergency health and detoxification, how to cure different kinds of diseases through natural way, and there are also herbs and fruits and how to use them. So for the different hydrotherapeutic applications. Number 5 is the application of ice must not be used. The only thing that the doctors use ice when there is a sprain. But in natural medicine, we use cold water rather using ice. Why? It is very harmful because it does not produce a reaction. On the contrary, it produces a contraction. It produces a contraction as it stops the circulation of the blood. So if you have a heart problem, it is dangerous to our heart. Because there will be an effect of contraction or constriction of the blood vessels, and there will be stopping of the flowing of the blood. So we do not use ice in water therapy. We rather use cold water. We shall explain the main hydrotherapeutic procedures. Well, this is ablution, the friction using cold. Yeah, cold water. Yes, ablution. The person who will take a bath or another person will get a towel wet in cold water. So this is ablution, cold water, not ice water. Okay, squeeze it very gently and use it both for the partial or complete washing. By using this towel with cold water and then squeeze a little, you will scrub or rub all the parts of your body. Towel does soak wet, will be applied very softly but quickly on the area that is being treated. So this is for the morning. But if you have some areas, even in any time of the day, if you have some problem, especially in that area, you can apply this cold compress. And then, paying attention that the whole area that you want to treat gets wet. This cleaning or washing will not be done when the body is cold. So every now and then, we are telling about the temperature. So you do not apply cold with patients who feel very cold. You need to warm them up. Neither will the body be exposed to draughts. Everything that can prevent the reaction of heat must be avoided. So pay attention that the body subjected to this treatment will have its hot reaction. In order to cause this reaction, the person has to wear warm clothes and make some exercises or remain in bed until the body has reacted. What else? One should get dressed without wiping the body unless the head is wet, in which case the scalp should be well dried. So when you apply this, you do not dry your body except in the scalp area. So you just wear your clothes. So that the reaction will be felt later. Ablution again. Okay, genital bath by Pune. Okay. This type of bath is performed as a person sits on a bidet that has been filled with water. For this bath, you would leave the cold water running. Cold water running. And then if you do not have a bidet, there is an alternative method. So you can buy it now in the market. They call it genital bath. This was actually invented by Pune. You can sit on a basin filled with 30 to 40 liters of water. And place a board so that you have a place to sit. And then for women, she would have a washcloth in her right hand and dip it into water while she sits on the board. She would make an ablution of the external genital organs with a washcloth, so the genitalia. You know the genitalias or the genitals are the most sensitive part of the human body. That is why when you hit it accidentally, what will happen? You feel the pain anywhere in your body. So this because there are nerves that are very superficial in this area. So when you apply water therapy in this area, it will relieve different kinds of pain. Okay? So with women, okay. Press softly when passing the cloth upon the skin or the big lips. The external application, okay, during menstruation. So with women, you apply it gently. Together with the gentlemen, you apply this very gently with the genitals. During menstruation, take a short bath with lukewarm water for hygienic purposes. Of course, there will be outpouring of the blood. For men, when a man engages in this type of bath, he would place his penis into the water while sitting on the bidet. And then, or on the board. And then very softly rub the foreskin with a piece of cloth without touching the head of the penis, which is sexually sensitive. So you do it gently without touching the head or the corpus cavernosum of our genitalia. So duration, 20 to 40 minutes. What do we use? Cold water. And using a towel. And then perfect time is in the morning on an empty stomach, or another favorable time is half an hour before meal. Can be done 3 times a day. So very simple way, you just have a cold water and then you get a towel and then you scrub your genitals. And then you can also have a basin of water, 30 to 40 liters, and then you put a board, and then you sit at the board, and then every now and then you get this water and apply it into the genital area, and we call it Pune bath. Effects. It has an effect on the intestines and the kidneys. intestines and kidneys. What else? It fights internal fever. It brings the digestive disturbances back to normal. You can apply this also to your children. So when they have internal fever, okay, they feel very cold even though they are not very hot in their outer skin, you can apply this by using kune or water therapy, cold water, in scrubbing their genital organs. And then it brings the digestive disturbances back to normal. Those patients who have problem with their stomach or digestive system, we were talking about them this morning, and then you can apply this when you go home. Because the application of cold water is applied only to the external genital organ, the patient will not feel cold. Instead, or she will feel calming sensation of warmth as his or her body relaxes. Very relaxing. If you feel very tired, and then you can use this. You can apply this. Restoring bath. We have 3 bath restorers. Okay, that is why I want to introduce this book because this is very beneficial. Anyway, restoring bath. First, we use hot water. Bath restorer number 1. We use hot water, followed by a friction with the same water in the intestinal area. We have 3 parts of the colon, or a large intestine: the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and the descending colon. We apply this hot water. We rub first the ascending colon. You can do it 5 to 10 times, and then the transverse colon, and then the descending colon. So you can do this. So the water must be 40 degrees in a temperature Celsius. So you can do this for 15 to 60 minutes. The first time you can do it 15 minutes. And if you are already used to it, familiar with it, you can extend it up to 60 minutes. So this is bath restorer number 1. Pour hot water into the basin until it reaches the level of 10 to 20 centimeters. Sit on the basin with your feet outside and rub the area of the intestines very softly in the blood that has been soaked in hot water. 5 frictions in the large intestine areas. 5 frictions for every area, ascending, transverse, and descending. It will help the digestive system. And then benefits, not only for the digestive system, it dissolves toxins. Restorer bath number 1 is using hot water. And then corrects intestinal functions, especially if you have irregular bowel movement. And then promotes the expulsion of the accumulated feces if you are constipated. And then it has a sedative and healing properties of the ailments of abdomen, liver, intestine, kidneys, bladder, and female physical disturbances. Best for rheumatism, gout, and arthritis. You will apply it here in the abdomen, but there is an effect even in the terminal part or our hip limbs. Okay. And then we have not what we call precaution, not recommended for fever and appendicitis. So this hot bath restorer 1 is hot, is not recommended for fever and appendicitis. Application is 1 or twice a week. Restoring bath 2. If restoring bath 1 is hot, and now you use cold. Cold and hot. With hydrotherapeutic procedure where hot and cold water alternated for the duration of the bath. Restorer bath 1 is only hot. Restorer bath number 2 is what? Hot and cold. You always start with hot and you always end with cold. Do not start with cold and then end with hot. It is the opposite, hot and cold, especially when there is pain, acute pain. If you have rheumatitis, arthritis, and then there is a pain in a specific area, now you can use this. It consists of a hip bath in the hot water, hip bath or sit bath. You sit in the basin where you can until your hip and half of your thigh, and then the bath is completed. The bath is completed with a friction done with a cloth soaked in the same water and applied in the abdomen. The same procedure. You rub your large intestine area. 1 container